And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have the actual audio masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant dipole runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over for Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. As we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. And normally Charlie, K1GCL, would be checking in at this point, but Charlie is on leave, having to seek some medical attention, and so we're going to open up our Qso-Vlog network at this time. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Bravo 3, Kilo Whiskey Whiskey.
Kilo Bravo 3 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Hello, Jim. This is Kilo Bravo 3, Kilo Whiskey Whiskey. Jim in Norton, Virginia.
Roger, Jim in Virginia. And what radios are you running today, sir?
Well, hello, Jim. We talked a while back. I'm running the 718 ICOM. Roger.
Roger, Jim. I've got you about 20 over on my local antenna right now on my dipole. So, gosh, a good signal. And if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, starts with you making sure that you're in that wide, if you have a newer radio, that wide transmit mode, 100 to 2900. Roger?
Okay, Jim. I just wanted to recheck with you, and the only thing I've only had is just positive reports since the last time I checked in with you there, Roger.
Oh, Roger that, Jim. It sounds really good. I didn't know, usually we just run through and verify that we are in that set of procedure, but your audio sounds really good. And I just moved off to Milford, PA SDR, and it really sounds good there. It's about 20 over there, Roger.
Really sounds good there. It's about 20 over there, Roger. Okay, very good. Well, it excites me that I've got it just about as fine-tuned as I can get. I do want to upgrade, Jim, to a desk mic, but right now, $300, just a little out of my reach. It is oh my goodness, let me put my glasses on here, the SM50 desk mic, but I'm just still running the stock mic, and I did a little fine-tuning myself, and I've had very positive reviews on this little stock icon here.
Yes, sir. It really sounds good. Your dynamic range is about 3 dB dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. The audio curve is very nice and bright, highly intelligible. So when you get in those bad situations that you're arriving somewhere with heavy noise or QRM, you will punch through as best as possible because your audio has very articulation aspects to it. Roger, Roger?
Very articulation aspects to it. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger there, Jim, and I certainly appreciate it. The last time I talked to you was way back, oh my Lord. I don't want to hold it too much. It was, oh my, geez, I can't, I'm trying to find it here. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I still do paper logs, and I'm sorry. But it was around the very second week in December when I got back on the air. And like I said, everything here is been homebrew, and it's all brand new here, but thank you very much there, Jim, for letting me come in, and I can't wait to get a new microphone. I think that will be a little more punch, but I can't afford an amplifier or equalizer or anything like that. Back to you, sir.
Yes, sir, Jim. Well, listen, I just been around the horn there. You know, I'm running 4 internet SDRs, and you're doing, like 15 over from Arlington, Georgia, Milford, Pennsylvania, Rochester, New York, and my local antenna. So I was estimating that you were running about 200 to 400 watts, Roger.
I'm estimating that you were running about 200 to 400 watts, Roger. No, sir. I'm peaking at about 100 watts there, Roger.
Oh, yes, sir. You have a great signal. You have a beautiful signal, and that antenna is doing you a great job also. So let me say 73 to you. Thanks for dropping by, and if you get a chance, and want to hear your audio, we are recording now till 5, and we'll be posting it up on YouTube by tomorrow at noon. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, we'll take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, Roger.
In a series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, Roger. Roger there, Jim. Well, thanks for picking me up, and have some fun there today. You've helped a lot of people out there. KC9VKV from KB3KWW, Norton, Virginia. Roger.
Roger, Jim. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. We're recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mary.
Whiskey Alpha 9 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey Alpha 9 station, slowly phonetically with your call sign. Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mary. Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mary. WA9
Zulu Papa Mary, Roger, and what's the name there?
Zulu Papa Mary, Roger, and what's the name there? I'm located
Yes, sir, I did lose that transmission. Come back one more time with your name, please.
Lose that transmission. Come back one more time with your name, please. Mike, M-I-K-E, over.
Roger, copy Mike, M-I-K-E. And Mike, where are you located, sir?
M-I-K-E. And Mike, where are you located, sir? I'm located in County, Illinois. Crestwood, Illinois. C-R-S-T-W-O-O-D, Illinois. The southwest suburbs of Chicago, over.
Roger, Illinois. And Mike, what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Illinois. And Mike, what
What radio are you running today, sir?
Okay, the radio's an Aircheck K2. Aircheck K2, over.
Roger, Roger, K2. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, normally we start with verification that we're in that wide transmit mode, 100 to 2900. Roger, Roger. If you're not familiar with that, then just make a note of that and we can check that later. Roger, Roger.
Just make a note of that and we can check that later. Roger, Roger. Okay, well, there's nothing to set up. It just has one bandwidth. There's another bandwidth. This crystal filter is about 2.6 kilohertz wide. So there's, to the audio response, 400, 2600 hertz roughly. And the mic selector holds 664. That's the mic 664, which does clean up and help. The compression's about 2 to 1. It's set for 2 to 1 compression on the transceiver, over.
Roger, Roger. Mike, I don't have the best signal in the world on you. I've been around my internets, and you are about 3 dB above their noise level, so it's kind of challenging just a little bit. But if you would be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you engaging that compressor at a third of its capability, and that would be, if you have an input select level for your compressor, it would be a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of the capability of that compressor. Roger, Roger.
Well, all I could go to 3 to 1, although I think it picks up too much background noise, and especially the corners in the next row. I could try going to 3 to 1, but I don't know what.
Roger, Mike. Well, this would be just a very light amount of compression. If you have a difficulty in getting just a third of it, I would just leave it off. If it's easy to get a third, like if the input select is 0 to 10, it would be a 3. If the input select is 0 to 100, I'd put it on 30, like that. Or if it's a knob, I would just put it at about 10 o'clock position if it's not labeled. But if all that fails, just turn it off, because it really isn't that critical for our setup. Roger, Roger.
Critical for our setup. Roger, Roger. Well, let's see. That's about all I can do. Compression's the only adjustment. Everything else is all fixed, and so it's pretty much a fixed setup. But I hope I'm coming through clearly, except for the noise level. I'm just getting 90 watts from the ground-mounted vertical. The antenna's a ground-mounted vertical, a house source 5 TV. It's on the ground with 16 radios, and it's about 95 watts going into it, over.
Roger, Mike. I got you in the clear there pretty well on Milford. Looked for a while to be about 7 or 8 over, so I got a pretty good signal there. I think your dynamic range is around 3 dB, which is a good place to be. It's nice and fat. Any fatter, and it would probably start to distort to some degree. Words start to bend. It's a matter of words having a little life to them, as opposed to being flat up against the wall. So I think dynamically your level is correct. The only thing I would say would be to maybe a little brighter signal, a little push on the treble EQ, plus 2 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Clicks boost treble EQ from where you are. Roger? Okay, well, I don't have any equalization adjustments. Everything is just fixed. All I've got is the crystal filters and the microphone itself. Like I said, the mic's an Electrovoice 664, and unlike most other microphones, it's not boomy and muddy. It's one that actually accentuates the mid-range frequencies a bit. It doesn't boost the bass like many of these other dynamic microphones that are the cardioid mics that tend to have proximity effects. In fact, the Electrovoice 664 is designed to eliminate the proximity
frequency is in use.
so it doesn't get bass beat. Frequency is in use. It's about a plus, and I'm hoping with what I got, that's about what we're going to, about the best we can do, over.
Roger, Roger, Mike. Well, the only other thing that we could possibly do would be, you were talking about proximity effect, and that would be pull back off that mic about an inch more than what you normally would run, then make up the difference in your audio gain. You want to look at your ALC meter, usually we use the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in your QSO, and adjust with your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. That word is so precise as far as a human signal generator goes that you can set that right on 2/3 and be right on target there. And the idea would be, if you moved back off mic about 1 inch or so more than what you were, then you should have a shift, and your bottom end should drop just a little bit, and your top end should excel just a little bit. So that'll give you a little more top end balance, Roger. Roger.
Okay, I'll just say audio. Yeah, there is a noticeable ALC indication here, and I'm a little bit further from the mic. The mic's also about 45 degrees off to the side, about 90 degrees off to the side of me, and in front of me, and then done to present up and wrap up.
Roger, Mike. I wish I had a better signal on you, but I don't. It's about, that last signal was about 2 dB above the Milford PASDR levels, noise level. So it's, not a good signal. But I think you're sounding a little bit better there when you back off just a tad, and then readjust your mic level to make up for moving back a little bit, and that should make you a little sharper as far as the EQ on that mic. That's anti-proximity effect, Roger.
That mic, that's anti-proximity effect, Roger.
Boy, we got them, We have them. It just is a matter of how to get rid of them. Mike, you still have a copy, sir?
Yes,
I do. I still have a copy. It's just, I did hear that shattering sound in there. So was this kind of sound, over?
Yes, sir. Very inconsiderate amateur radio operator. I hate to say amateur radio operator because, most amateur radio operators are very kind and think about what they're doing and not try to QRM somebody. But, it takes different strokes for different folks. So what can I say? Mike, if you want to hear what I've got, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and you can see what we have there. And I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I just, as far as that noise of wind, we don't know what its source is. It's intentional or not. It could have been something accidental, too. Not if it's something intentional. It could have been something intentional. Let's hope it was just something, some kind of mistake and pushing or something, or something else. Not malicious. KC9VKV, WA93PM, clear.
Roger, Mike. I finally went to my local antenna, my local dipole, and I did copy you fairly well there on that last transmission. I have found that resonant dipole antennas are extremely efficient. I'm not sure, again, what you were running there. I didn't have a good copy on you, but like I say, I have found resonant dipole antennas to be tremendously effective, and I just pass that along as a word of perhaps something to consider. And the other thing is to get a 2-position rotary switch, or a 3-position or 4-position or something, and if you went to a dipole antenna and then you have your old antenna and you can AB them back and forth, there's nothing better than the right antenna at the right place, and so with the AB switch and 2 antennas, you do have options, and that is what the name of the game is. Roger.
just got limited space here in the vertical. That wire out there, that gear, and cut it out. We'll have to see how that does, but the wire's probably only going to be a most so it's going to get to this as a compromise too. The vertical's about 26 feet tall. That's a house for 5 TV. This is the A9ZPF.
Roger, Roger, Mike. Just FYI, I do have 3 vertical 10-foot magnetic loop antennas plus my resonant no SWR dipole, and I do have a vertical antenna, and I did switch to the vertical, and since you were vertically polarized, and I did not have a copy on you at all. You were, to me, all horizontal on the dipole antenna. Roger, Roger.
Okay, well, I guess, where are you located? Where's this receiving antenna located?
Yes, sir. We're located about, 3 miles from downtown Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
Okay, well, yes, you're fairly close. I don't know how ground wave, if we're on ground wave at this distance, as opposed to bouncing off the ionosphere. But, okay, I want to let you on and get to some other people who are probably waiting in line here. But thank you much. This is the A9ZPF.
Roger, Roger. Mike, and FYI, I have input source indicator chevron on the right-hand side of the screen that's got 6 lights that will tell you where I am at any one given time as far as my audio selection. It shows my 4 internet SDRs, plus it shows my local radio, and it doesn't show the specific antenna that I'm on my local radio, but I usually say that. So 73, Mike, thanks for dropping by, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Somebody's calling, station calling, come back one more time with your call sign slowly phonetically.
Station calling, come back one more time with your call sign slowly phonetically. Kilo Oscar 4, Yankee, Kilo Tango, Roger.
That's Yankee Kilo, England? Is that Roger?
That's Yankee Kilo, England? Is that Roger? That's Tango, Tango. Kilo Oscar 4, Yankee Kilo Tango, K4YKT.
Roger, Roger, Yankee Kilo Tango. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger, Yankee Kilo Tango. Is that a Roger? That's a Roger.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there, sir?
Yes, sir. And what's the name there, sir? The name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo.
Roger, Mark, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Mark, and what's your location, sir? My location is Sierra Charles, South Carolina, upstate South Carolina.
Roger, South Carolina. And what radio are you running today, Mark?
Roger, South Carolina. And what radio are you running today, Mark? Right now I'm running the ICOM 7300.
Yes, sir. Mark, fine radio of the century, I think. So if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you verifying that you're in that wide transmit bandwidth of 100 to 2900. If you're familiar with that, just double check that. If not, just take a note to check that at a later time. That is 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
That is 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger? Roger, Roger. Looking at the transmit bandwidth, I'm at 100, 2900 right now.
Excellent. That's exactly where you want to be. All right, let's move to your compressor. On and out of 3. Compression on and out of 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us arrive at our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. Roger, Roger?
Arrive at our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger. Looking at
Compressor currently at 2, is now at 3. Compressor is at 3.
Excellent. So now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, audio, you become a human signal generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3 with the magic word audio. Roger, Roger.
Is running 2/3 with the magic word audio. Roger, Roger.
Audio, 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 audio.
That pretty much got 2/3 there, Roger?
That pretty much got 2/3 there, Roger.
Roger.
Alrighty, and now let's move to your EQ, your tone control, and we want to do +2 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are. +2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are, Roger.
EQ from where you are. +2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are, Roger.
Okay, so I just got to the EQ, and you want what now? What, treble +2, correct?
Yes, sir. +2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are.
Yes, sir. +2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are.
Okay, so I'm currently at +4 right now. So let's see, +5, there it is. That's max. +5 is max.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, tell me about your antenna system there for about 10 seconds, and let me listen to you.
About your antenna system there for about 10 seconds, and let me listen to you.
Roger, I have a home brewed and does a good job for me. So yeah, Delta Loop 65 feet up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I just got you on my local antenna on my OSWR dipole. And since I have such a beautiful signal, if you would, I would like for you to give me an Elmer shout-out or an Elmer tribute for a little while. And let me record some of that great audio. Roger?
Roger, Roger. And unfortunately, I am new to ham radio, and I don't really have a ham or an Elmer per se. A lot of what I find is on YouTube, and then gravitate towards what's there, and then implement it as I see fit. So really no Elmer per se in person, but there's a lot of good YouTube information out there, which I tend to use.
That's very true, sir, and I got a great recording on you, and I think you'll love it. If you would like to hear it, go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's KC9VKV logbook on a YouTube search, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Hey, Roger, Roger. I appreciate you coming back to me and helping me out with my audio.
Yes, sir. Sounds really, really nice, and your dynamic range is beautiful, too. So I think we have to get the Gorilla Tape out and tape everything down. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I'll tape.
Roger, Roger, Mark 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
All right, I've been around the horn, down in Georgia, around Milford, PA, Arlington, Virginia, Rochester, New York. If you're calling KC9VKV, let me suggest that maybe you might want to check out a different antenna, because your antenna may not be as efficient as it could be. My philosophy is that if you are transmitting 100 watts on the eastern part of the United States, you should be a S1, you should be an S5 to S9 somewhere. You know, if you're an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. So my thoughts would be, if you wanted to experiment with a very efficient antenna, I would go to a dipole antenna, a resonant dipole antenna, and then just to put an AB switch between what you got now and the resonant dipole antenna, and just to see which one brings in the bacon. Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And nothing heard. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And since we have a moment, time for another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. This segment, Thinking Outside the Box. From time to time, I mention the fact that the actual heart of one's Radio Shack is the audio monitoring system. It is the incoming half of your QSO or contest. It makes possible the voice of your friends or your contacts around the world. It is that critical necessity for making two-way communications possible. And let's face it, audio reality does not reside with a 3-inch speaker inside a very small box that is your transceiver. There's just not enough cubes. This is the major downfall of all the transceivers. It is the number one major shortcoming filter of your HF receiver. You can't really talk about EQ curves or audio balance too well until you have an audio system that can truly reproduce the range of audio that's involved. So you need to think outside the small box. And the box I'm talking about is your transceiver. Get your audio out of that box and plug into reality. Plug into your radio speaker out with a nice full-range house monitor system. You deserve to hear what's really going on. And I don't mean a pair of $15 computer speakers, which I guess would be better than your transceiver radio speakers. But for under $50, or right around there at Walmart, you can get a nice full-range Logitech speaker system, and check out their Logitech speaker system with a subwoofer. You don't need a Bose, but you do need to get something that will reproduce the bottom end correctly down to at least 100 cycles or so. A speaker system with subwoofers can easily do that, and for under $60, $50 or $60, you can spend $1,000 for a really great radio. You deserve to get the most out of it. And since I've been evaluating radios very closely on the Qso-Vlog network, I've noticed more and more radios with much fatter audio curves on my spectrum analyzer. Transmit audio curves that go down to 100 cycles or so. But a word of caution: if your transmit audio content does go down to 100 cycles, you must make sure that the rest of your audio curve, particularly the upper end, has plenty of content for balance. Otherwise, you'll sound like very muddy. So step up your audio monitoring system, drop by Walmart and pick up one of those Logitech $40 subwoofer speaker systems. And it could be anywhere, Myers or anywhere that has a subwoofer speaker system for around $40 or $50, and you'll be able to hear what's really going on. And for under $60, the price is right. So there you go, thinking outside the box. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Victor Echo 3, X-Ray, Bravo Oscar.
Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Oscar. This is KC9VKV.
X-Ray Bravo Oscar. This is KC9VKV. Yes, good afternoon, Jim. You're coming to me over a Bose docking station speaker. It's a speaker that I always use for most of my transceivers, and it's very good sound, both mid, high, and lows. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Bose is known for their great frequency range in their monitors, and certainly that is one of those things that just makes radio operating so pleasant to be able to hear the full range of a station coming in. Roger.
Pleasant to be able to hear the full range of a station coming in. Roger. Roger. Yes, and what a difference between the internal speaker of the 7300 versus plug-in into the Bose box. It's a night and day.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is. There, I would say the 7300 probably rolls out at about 400 cycles or 300 cycles on the bottom end, somewhere around there. Just not enough cubes to really do much with, Roger.
Around there. Just not enough cubes to really do much with, Roger. Roger, Roger. And a lot of audio is lost in the lower frequencies on these speakers, so you can actually, I feel like I can a lot better when I don't cut off those frequencies, those lower frequencies.
Roger, now I just moved over to my local antenna to look at your full bandwidth. I have the spectrum analyzer in the circuit. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I was on a few weeks ago with this setup already, and we went over the adjustments on the 7300, and I haven't touched the thing, so it should be all good. But I just wanted to comment on your be all good, but I just wanted to comment on your external speaker lecture before the net, and for sure, I totally agree with you on that topic.
Roger, I don't think most people really realize the audio difference when you listen to a full range speaker system versus what's coming off of your radio or coming out of your radio. And for, very cheaply, you can get a monitor system with a subwoofer for like $50. That will go down to below 100 cycles, and that's all you need to do. And that will give you just the full range of what's really coming at you. And you'll just be amazed listening to the full range monitor system versus your audio coming out of your radio. It's just unbelievable.
Audio coming out of your radio is just unbelievable. Yes, I fully agree. I think the Bose goes just under 100 cycles, and I think it goes up to 20,000 hertz, just under. So it's a full spectrum speaker.
Yes, sir. Yes, I've always been impressed with Bose, but see, now I never could afford Bose, Roger.
I never could afford Bose, Roger. Well, believe me, originally, yes, they were very expensive, but you can actually purchase them used on, we have Facebook Messenger, Facebook Marketplace is where I got this Bose, believe it or not, for $20 with a remote control, and they used to sell for around close to $300 when they're new. Of course, it's an older model with the older docking Apple iPhone docking station. It's not a lightning rod thing. It's not the small one, but it's the big recharger. And but that's okay. I don't use it as an iPhone docking station. I just use it as a beautiful speaker that is really high fidelity. Provides high fidelity sound in my Radio Shack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's exactly right. It's the sound that comes out. That's the thing. And I think the more we talk about that, maybe other folks might get interested in getting a little bit better monitor system. We just keep our fingers crossed, Roger.
Monitor system, we just keep our fingers crossed, Roger. Roger. Well, everybody wants to transmit good audio, but receiving good audio is the other 50% of the equation.
Exactly. And, the other thing also is being able to turn it up a little bit more, get the speakers a little bit further away, get some space there, and it's just so nice, Space there, and it's just so nice, Yes, very much so. Especially if some of us have certain hearing impairments, etc. Having a better speaker does help in catching the weaker, less defined stations. Roger. Well, listen, let me say 73 up that way. Happy New Year, and thanks for dropping by, Roger.
73 up that way. Happy New Year, and thanks for dropping by, Roger. Roger on that, Jim. Thank you very much for taking my call. DE3XBO.
Roger, sir. 73 up that way. Stay warm. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We record now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K9VKV, just got some comments about the speakers.
Station coming back about the speakers. What is your call sign, please?
Station coming back about the speakers. What is your call sign, please?
WA9ZPM, Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mary, Whiskey Alpha 9 Zulu Papa Mary, WA9ZPM. We talked before, but I just wanted to add some comments on the speakers, over.
Yes, Mike, this is KC9VKV. Go ahead.
Yes, Mike, this is KC9VKV. Go ahead.
Well, I think that is the most important thing to the speakers. Unlistenable to me. The receivers are pretty much unlistenable to me. The resonances and distortions that they have with them. The speakers, I have a just 5 or 6 inch car radio speaker in a wooden box. Somewhat bigger speakers. So I'm familiar from about 200 to 7,000 hertz. So it's, you don't need anything really fancy, but something certainly bigger. I mean, the bigger the speaker, the less the diaphragm has to move to produce the same volume level and the less distortion. Back to the 79 ZPM.
Roger, Mike. It's just amazing the difference a nice flat audio system, outboard audio system makes, and it doesn't have to be a million watts. It can be 20 watts. 10 watts even can do it, depending on your flavor. Some folks like to listen a little hotter than others, so I think mine's at about 30 watts, somewhere around there. Not major, but I'm only about 3.5, 4 feet from the tweets, so that you don't need a bunch of power to go crazy. Just a very flat system is what's in order. Roger.
Yes, that's very true. Of course, about hi-fi. I'm trying to stay with ham radio, but yeah, I think in a home, civilized volume levels, I think 25 watts is plenty. And I just, the thing is, everyone, small speakers, getting an 8-inch speaker for audio is highly unusual. And I hear stuff claiming to put out 100 watts into a 4-inch speaker. And that, to me, just defies the laws of physics. But anyhow, I'll let you get on. I don't want to get too much into that. This is WA9ZPM.
Roger, Zulu Papa Mike 73 there, sir. You have a great afternoon again. And thanks for coming back to us. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. We record now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Station ending in Sierra. Come back and try it one more time, slowly, phonetically, with your call sign.
Come back and try it one more time, slowly, phonetically, with your call sign. This is Whiskey Alpha 2, Bravo Hotel Sierra.
Bravo Hotel Sierra. I've got the backside. Give me the call sign one more time, please, sir.
I've got the backside. Give me the call sign one more time, please, sir. Okay, it's Whiskey Alpha 2. Whiskey 2.
Ah, yes, sir. I just went down to Georgia, my Georgia SDR, and you popped up there pretty good there. And what's the name there?
You popped up there pretty good there. And what's the name there? The name here is EV, Echo Victor, EV, short for Everett.
Echo Victor, Echo Ev. Is that a Roger?
Echo Victor, Echo Ev. Is that a Roger? Yeah, Echo Victor, and my QTH is Columbia, Tennessee.
Alrighty, and what radio are you running, Ev?
We are running about a 45-year-old, somewhere in that range, Kenwood TS-120 Sierra.
Roger, Ev, well, if, I'm sure you don't have any, do you have a compressor on that radio?
I'm sure you don't have do you have a compressor on that radio? Negative, no compressor.
Roger, no EQ page?
Roger, no EQ page?
Negative.
How about a mic volume control?
How about a mic volume control?
No, sir.
Is that right? Now that you gotta have a mic volume control.
We do have a mic control for the drive, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, now you're running a hand mic, so let me give you just a suggestion there on that hand mic. Pull it to the corner of your lips, actually touching the corner of your lips, talk across it, and not into it, Roger.
Touching the corner of your lips, talk across it, and not into it, Roger.
Okay, fine business. I'm doing that right now.
Yes, sir. Now, on your volume control, on your mic volume, I would pull that down quite a bit. Now, I'm sure, do you have a ALC? Do you have a flashing light or anything for your ALC?
Do you have a flashing light or anything for your ALC?
Yes, the ALC is just now touching.
Yes, so it sounds like you might be just a tad hot. Did you say you did have a mic volume control?
Did you say you did have a mic volume control?
It's just ALC, that's it.
Well, I mean, ALC is your reference to your level, but the mic actually controls the volume of your microphone, the mic level control. I'm surprised that you don't have some way to attenuate your mic level, Roger.
That you don't have some way to attenuate your mic level, Roger?
Yes, I understand that. The mic is an old handheld mic, and it has got it's a noise canceling mic, and I'm in the normal position.
Yes, sir, but no mic level control, Roger.
Yes, sir, but no mic level control, Roger.
That is correct.
All right, sir, let me suggest that maybe instead of touching the corner of your lips, maintain that position, but move it away from your mouth about an inch. You're a little hot going into your ALC. I don't know what your meter is showing, but I'm seeing that you're really, up against the wall there. So I'm trying to back off your level just a little bit, and that would be, instead of touching your lips, maybe about an inch off of your lips, Roger?
Instead of touching your lips, maybe about an inch off of your lips, Roger?
I understand that. I am doing that now, and I've backed the ALC off just a tad.
Well, now, see, you do have a control did you say because you moved back off mic that your ALC went down, or you actually have a control that affects your ALC?
ALC went down, or you actually have a control that affects your ALC?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm 74 and confused about half the time. Yes, I do have a mic control that I can set my ALC level.
Exactly. So what we want you to do is come up and bring that mic back to your lips, and as you say the word audio, and you speak that word just like you would speak any other word in a QSO, don't stress it, just say it, audio, and then adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading 2/3. Now, is that a meter or is that a light?
Is reading 2/3. Now, is that a meter or is that a light?
It is a meter. It is a meter.
Yes, sir. So what we want to do then is, key and use that word audio. You become a human test generator, audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger?
Adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger?
I copy that. Audio, 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 audio.
And now, I want you to tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna system.
Antenna system was just put up today after coming down from the winter weather, and I've got to do an SWR sweep on it tomorrow. It's a 40-meter dipole antenna. The apex is at 25 feet. The ends are about 18 feet off the ground. And when I get my antenna potato launcher, it's going to go up to about 40 feet.
Roger that, roger that. Well, I wish you luck on that. And, you are operating at not the opportune time. You can only work on antennas when it's 0 degrees outside. You know that.
You can only work on antennas when it's 0 degrees outside. You know that.
Yeah, I was going to try that when it was 5 degrees, but I decided I'd wait for a little better weather.
Yes, sir. Well, I think it has to do with making decisions right off the top there, because you're freezing to death. You don't have time to really philosophically, think about it. It's just trying to get the job done and get back in and warm up some. Okay, so on your mic now, what I would do, you're pretty full, but I would like to have just a little bit more top end on your audio. So what we want to do is try inverse proximity effect. So now maybe pull off mic, same position to the corner of your lips, but only about an inch away now. Pull back about an inch away and do your audio setup again, because once you move back an inch, you'll have to reset your ALC. So audio and mic gain and 2/3 on the ALC meter, and you're working at about an inch further away from the mic, Roger?
ALC meter, and you're working at about an inch further away from the mic, Roger?
I copied Jim, and I'm doing that now, and audio. Okay, I'm back to 2/3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a little bit of distortion. I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from. You're barefoot, Roger?
Not sure exactly where that's coming from. You're barefoot, Roger?
That is correct. We're running about 80 watts.
All right, let's if you got just a minute, let's pull that mic gain down to about 50% on your ALC meter, and the magic word audio. Roger?
On your ALC meter, and the magic word audio. Roger?
I copy Jim, and KC9VKV WA2BHS RAD. And let's see, audio, 50%.
Yeah, I think that sounds better. It was distorting right on the peaks a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why, but I think that sounds better. Roger?
Okay, why, but I think that sounds better. Roger?
Okay, I copy that, and Jim, thank you for your time. I love vintage equipment. This rig still drifts a little on me. I've got a little more work to do. And I've also got a 10-Tech Omni D, which I thoroughly enjoy also. Thank you for your time, and you provide a valuable service for the hams out there. Again, Jim, I'll say 73 and Happy New Year to you. KC9VKV WA2BHS. Thank you immensely.
Roger. And we'll have this uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. And this will be cut number 1 in its 2400 series 73 there. And just another word that, if you love those old radios, you might think about maybe getting an outboard processor like, equalizer, compressor outboard that you can put into the front end of those radios, and suddenly those old radios sound just as great as a modern radio, because you can tailor that EQ curve to exactly what that radio would need. It's just a suggestion that you might think about, Roger.
Radio would need. It's just a suggestion that you might think about, Roger.
Yeah, Jim, I have been thinking about that, and we'll take a look at that. I do appreciate your time and your effort, and again, thank you for what you do for the hams out there. KC9VKV and WA2BHS 73, my friend.
Yes, sir, BHS 73 that way, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We record now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. W4ABT, what is up, Jim?
Eric, how are you, sir?
Rich, how are you, sir? How goes it? Happy New Year to you, my friend. KC9VKV, this is W4AVT Barefoot. Barefoot with 200 watts, my friend.
Roger, that's the best 200 watts that you've ever had. Are you going to be running your big box here sometime?
Are you going to be running your big box here sometime? Yeah, I haven't had time to get this one switch, power switch replaced on it that needs to just be replaced. But I'll tell you, man, I can't wait. See, this is going to be like before when we did that before and after thing, you know, with my other radio and the Yaesu FTDX 5000. You're hearing me on the Yaesu FTDX 5000 MP now with 200 watts, and then once I can, you know, put that Kenwood TL922 Alpha in line here and hook it up, you know, with my good old Palstar tuner here and my Yaesu rig, the DX5000. I think that's going to be pretty cool to be able to compare. It'll be fun for us to listen to the comparisons, if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir. Well, I remember one time there we were doing something, and I was on the Milford SDR, and I went down to the West Palm Beach, Florida SDR, and you were as loud down there as you were up in Pennsylvania, Roger?
Loud down there as you were up in Pennsylvania, Roger? That's unbelievable, man. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. Oh, God, that's terrific. Well, yeah, I mean, you're sounding great over here. I just want to tell you, I've got a 10 over S9 on you over here, and occasionally even up to 15. So, you know, it's just signals are great today. And from where you're over where you are, I mean, I just I'm hearing you very, very nicely this afternoon. So that's terrific. I love the Yaesu FT990. I had one. I loved that radio. You know, I have a 920 behind me, and then I have this. I have the FT920 behind me on another table, and of course my DX5000 I'm on right now. But you know, I think I've spoken to you even, you know, when I had the FT1000 MP Mark V, the 990, and I might have even talked to you when I was on the 920 too, but and for a short period of time I had an FT950, but for me, I like the 920 and the the 1000 MP Mark V a little better. The 950 is a great radio. It just wasn't the type that I was looking for, but anyway, your setup over there is golden, man. I love it. And the Heathkit SP220 with the 3500Zs, man, that rocks. I mean, that's just an amazing amp. I love that amp. Anyway, why don't I let you, help some other people out there that might really, want to get your help there, Jim. And I will make sure that I get in here next week and talk to you again, my friend. So 73 for now there, my friend. KC9VKV, this is W4AVT. Happy, healthy New Year to you, my friend.
Roger. Eric, 73 down that way, sir. Good to talk at you. Love to have you drop by. And many happy returns on the new year, and get that other amp switch replaced. Shouldn't be much, just replace switch. Hopefully under $20, $25, $30. I don't know, somewhere in there. Gosh, but get that amp back on, because I always love to have you at 40 over. 73, sir. Catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is KC9VKV, copying somebody on my local antenna on my dipole antenna. Come up on the mic and try it again, please.
Try it again, please.
All right, I think there was a Bravo something, Bravo station again. Try one more time, please.
Bravo station again. Try one more time, please. November 7, Bravo Fox Mike. November 7, Bravo Fox Mike.
Bravo Fox Mike. Bravo Fox Mike. Can you come back with the whole call sign slowly, phonetically? Is that November 7, Bravo Fox Mike? Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
November 7, Bravo Fox Mike. What's the name there?
The name here is Brian. What's your call?
One more time phonetically, please, sir.
Brian, Bravo, Romeo, India,
Roger, Brian. And whereabouts are you located, sir? Brian, are you saying New Jersey? Is that a Roger? Kansas, is that a Roger? Roger, Roger, Brian. And what radio are you running today, sir? That's a 991 Alpha. Is that a Roger? Okay, Brian, I'll tell you what I want to do. If you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, I'm going to run through my local antennas and see if I can find one that might be just a little bit better. I'm only copying you now about 1.5 dB above my noise level. So if you give me about 10 seconds or so, I'll see if I can find a better antenna or a better path. Roger?
He was asking for your call.
Brian, the call here is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And Brian, if you could give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, I'll see if I can find us a better path. Roger? Well, Brian, I went all the way around the horns. I went through 4 internet SDRs. I went through 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, spaced 0 degrees, 90 degrees, and 134 degrees, plus my resonant no SWR dipole antenna. And I did not even copy you at all that time. So, maybe propagation has changed from last when you were here. That was only, a couple of transmissions ago, and you were about 1 dB above my noise level on my local antenna, but I forget which one it was. So come back and talk some more, and let me see if I can find you, sir.
Let me see if I can find you, sir. Down from 10 to the overflow as you switch.
Roger, Brian. Well, I went through everything, and I only found you down in Georgia, which was only about 1 dB above the noise level. So it's very hard to copy you, but I have copied you, so, put it in the book there. N7BFM, Brian, got a copy on you. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Name is Jim Juliet India Mike. Roger.
Victor Kilo Victor.
Juliet, India, Mike. Roger, roger.
Roger, roger. My antenna is very compromised. Indoor antenna. 120. Mag mounted to a filing cabinet because I live in an apartment. Mag mounted HF 120 to a filing cabinet or ground plane. And I usually get out a lot better than this, but this has been one of the most difficult ones in the past.
Now, wait a minute, Brian. Wait just a minute. You're saying that your antenna is mounted on a filing cabinet? How tall is your antenna? Mounted on a filing cabinet? How tall is your antenna?
It is an HF 120 laying on its side. And when I turn all the way up to 40 meters, it's about 3 inches out of my 9-foot ceiling.
All right, Brian. Well, listen, I wish you had a real antenna. I wish you had a real antenna. I could probably copy you, but right now, if you can copy me, and if you might be interested in our setup, the thing to do would be to first check your radio to see if you're in that wide transmit mode, that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That is the best performance for your radio if you're a new radio. Now, if it's an older radio, you are what you are, and you can't do much about that. But if it's a newer radio that you're running, you want to be sure that you're in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger? You're in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger? All right, so if you're familiar with that and can get there, go ahead. If not, just take a note to self to check that out to be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. All right, so the beginning of our setup procedure starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. Engaging your compressor at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on if your compression input is 0 to 10 or 0 to 100. 0 to 10, you want to put it on a 3. 0 to 100, you want to put it on a 30. Roger, roger? 3. 0 to 100, you want to put it on a 30. Roger, roger? All right, so now that you have your compressor on a 3, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO. Audio, stretch out the front, you become a human signal generator. Adjust the mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain control as you say the word audio. Roger? By way of mic gain control as you say the word audio. Roger? Okay, I could hear you setting up your ALC, so then I would move to my onboard equalization page, my tone control page. I would add 2 more clicks treble EQ from where you are, plus 2 clicks more additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger, roger? More additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger, roger? This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. Brian, do you still have a copy? Qso-Vlog net. Brian, do you still have a copy? Brian, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy? Brian, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy? All right, Brian, I hope you got that last about the equalization page, plus 2 clicks, treble EQ boost from where you are. Plus 2 clicks, treble EQ boost from where you are. And that will complete your setup. Maybe I can copy sometime and hear all your beautiful numbers. If you want to almost hear your radio, because I'm listening in the Braille, but if you want to try to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
To this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Well, 73, Brian, I think Mother Nature has pulled the plug on us. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. Maybe we'll have better propagation. We shall see. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check in.
Station checking in. Try again, please. Your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Station checking in. Try again, please. Your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Kilo November 4, Kilo Alpha Sierra, AN4 AAS.
Was that Kilo Alpha Sierra?
Was that Kilo Alpha Sierra?
Roger. AN4. Kilo November 4.
Roger, Roger, Kilo Alpha Sierra, and what's the name there?
Roger, Roger, Kilo Alpha Sierra, and what's the name there?
Name here is Don, D-O-N.
Roger, Don, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Don, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I'm in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Roger, South Carolina, and what radio are you running this afternoon?
Roger, South Carolina, and what radio are you running this afternoon?
.com, 96718.
Don, repeat that radio one more time.
Don, repeat that radio one more time.
Don, I have some inconsiderate son of a gun that's running 1 KC off and really tear me up here. Try one more time with that model number, Don.
Really tear me up here. Try one more time with that model number, Don.
718.
Roger, Roger, Don. Copy. ICOM 718. Roger, Roger. If you're interested in our setup procedure, if you're newer radio there, if you can adjust your transmit bandwidth, we want to be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Is that a newer radio?
Be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Is that a newer radio?
I'm a new ham. This is a new radio. First contact. I'm not that familiar with it yet.
Yes, sir, Don, I understand. Okay, if you would, you want to take some notes real quick?
Sure, Don, I understand. Okay, if you would, you want to take some notes real quick?
Roger.
Okay, Don, first thing is to make sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's in settings, and just double check that. Okay, now the setup for the our radio is compression on at a 3. Compressor on at a 3, and that's a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 depending on how your compressor input is labeled. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. All right, and then once we get that compression cranked in, we want to move to our ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, audio. Just say it, don't stress it. Say it like you would say any other word in a QSO. And as you say that word, you become a human signal generator. Adjust your mic gain until your AOC is running 2/3. So 2/3 on your AOC meter as you say the magic word audio and adjust your mic gain. Roger, roger.
You say the magic word audio and adjust your mic gain. Roger, roger.
Roger, roger.
Alrighty, and then I would move to your EQ page, your tone control page, and go plus 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Plus 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are on your tone control or your equalizer page, depending on what they call it. Roger?
Or on your tone control or your equalizer page, depending on what they call it. Roger?
Roger.
All right, Don, and then if you get a chance, join us next Friday, and let me hear all those numbers cranked in, Roger.
Next Friday, and let me hear all those numbers cranked in, Roger.
Okay, I'll see if I can get that done. I sure do appreciate the information. Look forward to talking to you maybe in next Friday.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you down in my Georgia SDR, and you're about 4 clicks above the Georgia SDR noise level. So you have a very readable signal down in Georgia. If you manage to check in next Friday, just give me a heads up there about Georgia, and I'll go down there right off. Otherwise, it might be a minute before I finally find you. Roger, roger?
Otherwise, it might be a minute before I finally find you. Roger, roger?
Roger, roger. This is KN4KHN.
Yeah, Don, one more time on that call sign. Give me that call sign one more time slowly, please.
Don, one more time on that call sign. Give me that call sign one more time slowly, please.
KN4KHS. November 4 Alpha Sierra.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate that. That's what I had. I just wanted to double check. So 73 to you, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And again, if you can join us next week, I'd love to hear all those numbers cranked in. Should be just outstanding. 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Have a chance for one more quick. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
More quick. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Station calling, you do have some trouble there. Try it one more time, please.
Station calling, you do have some trouble there. Try it one more time, please.
Yankee Golf Golf. I think you're getting a lot of RF in your AF. I think you're getting a lot of RF into your AF. If you're running with a box on, take your power amp and turn it off. Just turn your power amp off for a moment and let me hear you direct, Roger.
Turn your power amp off for a moment and let me hear you direct, Roger.
Yes, sir. It sounds like you're missing a ground. Sound like you're missing a ground on your microphone. You have very hum at 60 cycles, and the 60 cycles is actually chopping into your audio. So I would look around on my microphone input and see if I might be losing a ground connection on the from the radio to the microphone. Roger?
Losing a ground connection on the from the radio to the microphone. Roger?
Yes, sir. I would look for a poor ground connection between the radio and the microphone. That's what I would suggest. It's really loud. I am hearing some audio, so the high-level part of your audio system is making it, but I think you're missing a ground return from the microphone to the radio. So you might check on that. Anyway, we've got to get out of here. I see by the clock on the wall there's a dead fly. Ooh! Ooh. So let me say 73 all if you participated, want to hear your audio. If you go to YouTube and do the call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Will be cut number 1 in the series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. But right now, we got to say 73 all, and we've got to get out of here and return this frequency back to normal, everyday amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.
Radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.